history-making Sunday in our sights for Week 14 of NFL Primetime. Peyton Manning stalking Dan Marino, but the Texans were ready and waiting for the Colts. Two running backs look to rumble over the 13,000-yard mark in the same game. It's win and your division champs for the Falcons. Two division leaders go head-to-head and down to the final series in the Twin Cities. The Bengals find some big holes on the Patriots team, but first, they'd have to stop Brady and company. Could they? Eli finds out just how tough the Ravens D can be, while the Pack tries to hand the Lions another Lambeau loss. Plus, we'll put the playoff scramble in focus next on NFL Primetime. NFL Primetime is presented by Miller Lite. Primetime is Miller time. And now, here's your host, Chris Berman.
Hello once again, everybody. Welcome to NFL Primetime. Just 12 shopping days left till Christmas. A public service announcement. Chris Berman along with Tom Jackson. Just shopping, still something to do.
I've got something to do.
Some shopping to do today, Tom, for divisional titles. Well, Atlanta doesn't do it often. They had a chance last week. Not good. They had a second opportunity. Here we go. Join us for a heavy day of football. We begin with Atlanta at home against the Oakland Raiders. Clubbing in Atlanta this week. Then, T.J. Duckett using some clubbing of his own. Look at him. This 245-pound running back went 28 yards, Tom, and nobody wanted to stop him.
Yeah, and watch Stuart Swigert here. He comes up untouched. He's got a great chance to make this tackle, but T.J. Duckett uses those 245, 50 pounds, runs through the tackle, and gets to the end zone.
And then when you're at the 2, that's when you figure you see the big fella. There's a touchdown. 14-3 Atlanta just before the 2-minute warning and a half. Then Kerry Collins played well of late. Ball tipped. Rod Coleman, the one-time Raider. Rumbling, mumbling, stumbling. 39-yard touchdown. The game is really over here. 21-3 Atlanta. Third quarter, more Falcons, more Duckett from the 4. A 9.5-minute drive. They lead the NFL in rushing, Tom. They went over 200 yards rushing as a team for the 4th time this year.
Yeah, and Alex Gibbs in this offensive line, as you see Duckett again with his 4th touchdown, clearly you are seeing the north-south style that fits the offensive line that Alex Gibbs coaches.
And hugs for Jim Mora. Hey, rookie coach, gonna look like a rookie coach. Congratulations. The Falcons won a division in 1980. They won one in 1998. This is only their 3rd one, and they win it. Go winning for the 10th time this year. 35-10 all in all. 216 yards rushing in. You got to like the resiliency shown by Atlanta. Every time we say, they're just paper Tigers, paper Falcons, not the case.
Well, a 56-10 loss, a 27-0 loss, they always bounce back, and I think that's the key. As soon as we want to write this team off, I think they respond. That's a reflection on Coach Jim Mora. Congratulations to him. And again, I think we're going to say this. As the playoffs go on, this is going to be a football team, because of Michael Vick, that will be as dangerous as any in the league.
And they're rolling towards a bye, of course, which would be a home game, and then, if they win that, a title game that quickly. But, meanwhile, teams hoping to get in the NFC include, well, in the NFC, we have also, this is Chad and Ben, and a big showdown between the Jets and the Steelers, and Peyton Manning. Would he break the record on this day?
NFL Primetime, presented by Miller Lite. Grab yourself a great-tasting low-carb Miller Lite. And in part by Visa, proud sponsor of the NFL. Get ready for the game.
Special delivery, ladies.
Well, look who's here.
Got your fresh beer right here.
What do you got? I got intentional taste mask. All American brewed beers are fresh. This guy's hiding something.
Illegal use of the hand truck, distributing beer with less taste.
Replace it with Miller Lite. More taste.
Half the carbs.
You can't flag the king.
Right.
Okay, we got multiple penalties on Dan. Intentional taste mask.
Good call.
Illegal use of the hand truck.
We should take a picture. Come on, everybody get around the tree, okay? Say cheese.
Take Grandma's hint. She wants a digital camera from Staples. And we make it easy with top brands, trained associates, and everything you need to bring your pictures to life.
Oh, get one with me and the dog. Just push here.
Staples. That was easy.
There are thousands of people who love what you love. How will you find them?
On DVD.
All I want to do is race. Man, ain't the guy with the fastest car, just the one who refuses to lose.
ESPN presents 3. With over 5 hours of Dale Earnhardt interviews and races.
Go, boy, go!
Own the 2-disc collector's edition December 14th.
Welcome back to NFL Primetime, presented by Miller Lite.
Don't look now, but the Buffalo Bills are circling the wagons even in the snow at Orchard Park, New York. They began 0-4, but they can get over 500 if they can beat the hapless Cleveland Browns. How hapless? You watch. William Green, boom, boom. Nate Clements recovers. Green, 5 yards, 11 carries. He was a big ground gainer today for the Browns. Meanwhile, Bills having Willis McGahee, 13-yard run, 17-7 Bills, 105 McGahee. Now, Adam Shinobi and Shamandu from and Troy Vincent playing for the first time since October 3rd in a new position. Free safety, fumble recovery, a pick, and a sack in this game. Sam Adams, a.k.a. the Keg, tapping into a blitz on McCown, on Luke. Send in McCown. Then Jeff Garcia, couple plays, hit by Aaron Schobel, fumble. Chris Kelsey recovers. Garcia 1-for-1, 5 yards, gone with sprained knee. Back comes Luke McCown. Send in McCown indeed. That's Lawyer Malloy, 8 sacks. Buffalo limits Cleveland to only 17 yards to Lopez. They were minus yards into the fourth quarter. So the Bills now have won their last games. 37-17, 38-9, 42-32, 37-7. Here they come, 3 wide on the outside.
Yeah, and when you look at the game plan, Willis McGahee, 27 carries. He carries a load, 105 yards, a couple of touchdowns. Drew Bledsoe, only 100 yards, but only the 1 pick. This football team, just like you said, coming on into the year.
And it's going to be a very good game at Cincinnati next week. Interesting game for Buffalo, 7-6. They have an outside shot. Meanwhile, Saints and Cowboys, 2 teams hoping for an outside shot in the NFC where everybody but the 49ers have an outside shot. Julius Jones, last 3 games, you saw Monday night, 429 yards, 5 TDs. Touchdown early, no problem. The Saints have been outscored 107-10 in the first quarter this year, 10-0 Cowboys. But Vinny Testaverde throwing and Mike McKenzie takes off with the interception, sets up a Deuce McAllister touchdown, 10-7. Vinny Vici. He came, he saw, he threw it away. Next play, Vinny Vici. He came, he saw, he pump faked, he was incomplete, he was booted home, 14 of 35, 160 throwing. Meanwhile, Aaron Brooks, who had always a couple of humorous plays early, this time to Deuce McAllister. The Saints lead 20-13, under 3 to go. Aaron Brooks to Joe, don't bother me right now, I'm on the horn. Touchdown. What a catch he makes, Tom.
Yeah, take a look at it on the sideline right there working against Terrence Newman, and what a great job of not only getting the ball, but powering his way into the end zone.
Good job.
A tribute to our troops.
Good job there, Joe, as the Saints and Cowboys are each 5-8. I know 8-8 might get you in, it might, but that's about, as the Eagles once sang, take it to the limit. So the Saints won a road game in December.
I know.
And Bill lost a game in December.
And Coach lost one, yeah.
When we return on NFL Primetime, Tom Brady, Patriots, Coach Bill Belichick, could they continue to roll on to another win over the red-hot Cincinnati Bengals? And Tom, he's a game breaker. Kyle Bowler went bowling. He had more than a turkey. He had 4 strikes. We'll explain.
Chevrolet Fantasy Ticker is brought to you by the new Chevrolets.
10 new cars and trucks in 20 months. An American revolution.
And the Bears are against Jacksonville. The Jags, boy, they've lost. They won nail-biters. They lost nail-biters the last few weeks. Now, they were looking for a laugh for Byron Leftwich to Reggie Williams, who's had a nice rookie season, Tom. That's his first touchdown.
Absolutely.
7-0. Chad Hutchinson looked good last week. Jason Gilden said, you ain't going to look good this week. Loss of 14 yards. Bears settle for a field goal despite being deep. 10-3. Leftwich to Todd Yoder. Hit by Mike Greek. Brian Urlacher. Johnny on the spot. But flag on the play.
Yeah, and watch Charles Tillman. He's going to come in on a blitz, and if you hit the quarterback up around the head, up around the throat, you're going to get that call every time. Roughing the passer, they retain possession of the football.
Leaves the Jags. Field goal 13-3. Byron Leftwich. Jimmy Smith hit hard by R.W. McQuarters. So Smith, McQuarters helps him make change. He returned questionable at the time. Then Darrell Smith up the middle. Sacks Chad Hutchinson. You know, Tom, as a defender, nothing better you like than getting a safety.
Yeah, watch the play action right here. He comes through on the inside, curls around, and that is a safety, I reckon.
And ensuing Jags position. Now, Jimmy Smith, he's back. And what a catch that is. He's fighting through the pass interference. Woo. He's been a really outstanding player for a long time. He's toiled with no fanfare because it's in Jacksonville. And the Jags get back over 500. They've really had a nice season. They win finally an easy game for them, 22-3. 5 sacks and the safety of Hutchinson. The Jags held Chicago to just over 200 yards. When we return, the stories of the Mannings. 2 stories, completely different. Peyton going for the record books. He set 1, not the one you think. Meanwhile, although the Colts had their hands full, and Eli, well, it was what you did. Tough time against Baltimore.
Inside the Numbers. Brought to you by Visa, proud sponsor of the NFL. Get ready for the game.
Giants at the Ravens, and Jim Fossil on Brian Billick's staff in Baltimore. Certainly led the Giants to the Super Bowl 4 years ago against these Ravens. Saying hello to some of his old players like Tiki Barber. Tiki hit first defensive series. Ray Lewis recovers. Tiki's done such a much better job.
Absolutely.
First fumble of the year.
Absolutely. The first one this year. Giants fans should appreciate that.
However, 3 turnovers in the first quarter, and you think Kyle Bowler likes the Stormin' Mormon back in the lineup? Todd Heap, 37 yards inside the 30. Fossil likes it. And then Bowler, he likes it because he goes right back to Heap. He had a big day. He was a heap of trouble for the... Look at the moves. 2 moves by 2 guys. Touchdown. And very quickly, it's 17-0 Ravens. Then Eli Manning for this duck. Picked up by Ed Reed. And then... What? There's Dion. He's faster than me. Reed not only makes the pick, but he likes to flip it off, doesn't he?
And that's a guy, I think, a good choice for Defensive Player of the Year, always around the football, boom.
And Eli attempting to hand it off to Tiki Barber, recovered by Kelly Craig. 5 turnovers, Giants. Warner loosening up. Meanwhile, Bowler plenty loose. Watch this play for Heat. Wow, just steals the ball from Will Allen. He out-wills him, Tom.
Yeah, we take another look at it, and look at the hands, look at the height, look at the athleticism, and the balance to get both feet in.
And then this is a fitting play here. Eli, and he completes it out of bounds to Kurt Warner. Well, while you have the ball, why don't we bring it in? And so Warner comes in. It's 30. He leads into a touchdown. 37-14. He completed some passes. He hits Jeremy Shockey late, but Dion and Gary Baxter keep him out of the end zone. And Kyle Bowler, Fossil, Billick with that crack in the middle of the field. Eli Manning, Mama said there'd be more days like this. He's playing the tough teams. And 37-14, the Ravens now 8-5, back on track. Bowler, 4 touchdown passes. You saw that Eli 4 of 18, 2 picks for 27 yards. The Giants have lost 6 straight afterwards. Both quarterbacks talked to the situation.
This guy's the quarterback of the future for the New York Giants. Period. No question about that. You know, and you're going to have some of these games as you're trying to grow and learn in this league that you don't do too well.
Coach Coughlin, he's sticking with me, and he understands it's rough, you know, right now for a rookie quarterback, and they go through some growing times, and I appreciate that. But I just got to, you know, I got to get my teammates back trusting me that I can go in there and play and start doing the things to put us in a situation to win.
And that's the right comment.
That's right.
At this stage, say what you want about what's happened. They got to stick with Eli now, don't they?
Eli Manning, absolutely. Eli Manning is not just some quarterback that you stuck in. He is the #1 overall choice in the draft. He is the future of the New York Giants. I think he's learning a little bit about the impatience of New York Giants fans and how they're watching this season go. But certainly the speed of the game, at some point, it will slow down for Eli. When it does, he'll find that the reads are better. In fact, the guy on the other side of the field, Kyle Bowler, a month or so ago, I was just ready to sit this guy down and give this staff credit, especially Jim Fossil, for sticking with this guy because he looked like he turned the corner. You got Todd Heap back in the lineup. You got Jamal Lewis in that lineup. Yep. All of a sudden, he looks like a different guy, different quarterback.
And Eli is already known from Peyton. First year Peyton Manning 3 and 3.
That's right. That's right.
All right. Speaking of which, Peyton Manning going after the records, and the Colts going after team offensive records. Peyton Manning in Houston to play the Texans. They beat him 49-14 earlier this year. And here's touchdown pass number 45 in the first quarter. Manning, the Marvin Harrison record, of course, Marino set 20 years ago, 48. And what's amazing is they get the touchdown passes, Tom, like inside the 5.
That's right. That's right. The equivalent of a short run into the end zone.
Marcus Pollard caught it. Reggie Wayne, stately Wayne Manor. It's a touchdown. 14-0 Colts, 46 TDs. But, oh, by the way, the Texans said, not today. No blowout today. Dante Robinson, the #1 draft pick, Houston with a forced a fumble, but the whistle blew. This was confusing. Colts keep the ball 14-7. Dominic Davis had 200 yards rushing and receiving. Here's 15 of them. Wow, wait a minute. Ball game. First game the Colts have been in for like a month and a half. 17-14. Colts lead by 3. Dwight Freeney from
Bloomfield, Connecticut
makes the sack of David Carr. Freeney had 3 on the day. You know, they are bringing the pass rush from the front.
That's right.
That is something that's coming. Here's Robert Mathis. These two guys bring heat, Tom.
Yeah, the two ends are starting to apply the pressure. This is something that Tony Dungy said was going to happen and becoming a better defense down the stretch.
It's 20-14, so that's 3rd and 10. A 14-yard play, Manning to Wayne. 3 minutes to go, 2nd and 11. You know, it's a 6-point game. Edgerrin James. Tough 14-yard run, sets up a field goal, and the Colts win 23-14. It's not the record you thought. By the way, Peyton Manning will have a chance to set that record conveniently on ESPN Sunday Night Football against Baltimore. You'll see that next Sunday night. The Colts win 23-14. 13 straight multi-touchdown games for Manning. That's a record, breaking the old mark of 12, shared by Marino, Johnny Unitas, Brett Favre, and that's Dan Darrell, down Meredith. And the Colts, that's the lowest they scored all year, by the way.
That's right. We say 23, 24 points is the best you can hope for.
And this is what, after 13 games, Marino in his record-setting year had 36. And after 13 games, that would be 46 for Peyton Manning. And so we'll see if he can set the record on the next Sunday night game here on ESPN. Meanwhile, the New England Patriots, business as usual. They're 11-1, although you look at their schedule, and okay, we get Miami coming up, San Francisco. Cincinnati came in a hot team, winners of 4 of the last 5. Corey Dillon ready to run the ball against his old squad. Here we go, a prime cut from New England. The Bengals at the Patriots. And a nice scene before Corey Dillon and his old coach, Marvin Lewis. Two good guys. Had a nice chat with Corey this week, as you saw in Countdown. And he said, hey, we just want to win the game. Rodney Harrison forces a fumble on Corey's replacement, Rudy Johnson. Willie McGinnis having a big year, Tom.
Yeah, and always around the football, always with the big plays, playing maybe better as well as he has during his entire career.
That's Charlie Weiss, not official yet, but just about Notre Dame bound, still calling the plays, Patriots. Corey Dillon, touchdown, a 1-yard run, 7-0 New England. Carson Palmer, touchdown pass, 7-7. Tom Brady, how's this look? Yikes. David Patton, 48 yards, 14-7 Patriots. Now the Bengals with the ball. The Bengals have been scoring a lot of points. Big comeback last week in Baltimore. Asante Samuel picks off Palmer. He could go off the way. 14 points, 12 seconds. New England now with a 14-point lead, 21-7. But Palmer, Bengals, fight back. Nice. Chad Johnson at the corner of the end zone, 21-14. Next possession, Brady marches him down in a 2-minute offense. Kevin Falk, touchdown. 22 seconds remaining. The good teams always score in the last minute of the half, Tom. 28-14. Brady, how does he do this? Tom Brady on the seat of his pants, fittingly to Patrick, pass.
Well, it's the awareness. You know, we see guys that can't throw the ball and can't read. This guy, off of his butt, can read exactly where his receiver's going to be and complete a pass like that.
Amazing. But, you know, on his feet, he's not too bad either. Same drive, standing up to tight end Christian Euphoria. Nice pass, nice catch. Brady 18 of 26, 260, 35-14 New England. Game over, right? Especially when Richard Seymour knocks Carson Palmer out. MRI tomorrow, left knee sprain, so it doesn't seem bad. But while Palmer left, Bengals down by 3 touchdowns. Kyle Larson, rookie punter, Nebraska. No! Remember the Patriots, all the trickery they do? The Bengals pulled a big play, and now it's 35-21. John Kitna screwing his head on right, pumping himself up literally. He's going to be a quarterback. 3rd and goal from the 10. Kitna picked off by Troy Brown. And
battery now.
He has 3 interceptions. That's tied for the team lead. Oh, by the way, he's a receiver. But Bengals undaunted despite Rodney Harrison nailing Rudy Johnson. And then Kitna to Hushmanzada. And watch Eugene Wilson, bam, but he holds on.
Yeah, great job of making some plays for the quarterback, giving him a little bit of confidence.
Allows Kitna to throw to Kelly Washington. 27-yard touchdown. It's 35-28. Just over 2 minutes to go, 2nd and 10. Brady hits to Troy Brown. This is what he does. He caught 2 balls, and then the Patriots take 3 knees. Hushmanzada, by the way, caught 12 balls today for Cincinnati. But the New England Patriots, with a result happening later on, they clinched their division, and they beat the Bengals 35-28. They've won 27 of 28 games, despite the fact that Cincinnati, Tom, outgained the Patriots 478-351. Now, hey, look, a win is a win, and they don't have to complain the way they play, but did you see something today that...
Wow.
Maybe some...
Well, I think when we start thinking about the New England Patriots, we always think down the road. Congratulations to that team and that staff for winning their division. But when you look at the success that the Bengals had throwing the football, let's just take a look. Ted Johnson going to come in here untouched. Palmer reading the blitz behind him. Tight end Matt Schobel going to come open over the middle. He throws the ball right behind the blitz. You get a touchdown. Now the Patriots come with 7 on the blitz. Hushmanzada is on the slot, going to match up man-to-man with Randall Gay. He's reading that man-to-man matchup. He breaks to the post. Nice delivery of the football by Carson Palmer. The next time they come again, we see the blitz package. This is 6. Chad Johnson now gets the man-to-man coverage up top. And Chad, one of the better receivers in this league. Runs a little flag route. He comes in. We call this a 7. Back out to the post. To the flag. And he throws a perfect ball. And then finally, Chad Johnson, on the bottom of the screen. And here again, Palmer reading right there. Again, the 7 route between the cornerback and the safety, and he makes a pretty good throw right there. So when you look at the success that they had throwing the ball, I think we all will think about this. What's going to happen when the Indianapolis Colts, because eventually and that's a long way off, but the possibility of this magnificent offensive machine of the Colts going up against a team, I just think they have to get healthy. They have to get people back. Ty Law in particular has to get back in this lineup.
Well, they don't know yet.
And we don't know.
Broken bone in the foot, but you could be playing the Colts. You could eventually be playing, and we're going way down the list.
Way down. Although I will say this, they do find, and it is...
They win.
A way to win. That's all we know. They find a way to win games.
Lost since last...
I know.
One?
I know. It's unbelievable.
The Bengals, interesting, showing where they're going.
That's right.
They're not getting anywhere this year, but they're showing where they're going. That'd be a good game against Buffalo next week.
Yeah.
Speaking of going, how about when we return, how about the San Diego Chargers keeping it going against Tampa Bay? Could they? The Bucs have been playing some really good football. Meanwhile, the Bucs not only running, but the Bucs going into the passing lane. We'll be back. Visa Skycam, the Philadelphia Eagles, and Donovan McNabb onto the field against the Redskins. Sunday Night Football at the bottom of the hour.
Welcome back to NFL Primetime, presented by Miller Lite.
Here we go with the leaders in the AFC West by 2 games. The 9-3 San Diego Superchargers. Another sellout at home. This is such big news against Tampa Bay, who after an 0-4 start is now at 5-7 in the hunt. Drew Brees to Eric Parker. And early second quarter, they pen a 79-yard touchdown. 7-0 San Diego. Now 14-7, Brian Greasy, Joey Galloway. We're tied at 14. Remember, Tampa won the game in this field, Super Bowl 37 2 years ago. LaDainian Tomlinson, 35 yards. Had a big workmanlike day again. LT, up the middle. Touchdown. And San Diego leads it 21-14. Now 8 minutes left in the fourth quarter, and a rare... the Bucs defense can force even the tough guys to fumble it. He holds onto the ball well, Tom, but not here. Tampa in business. Ensuing drive, Brian Greasy to the rookie. Oh, Michael Clayton, 20-yard touchdown. We're tied at 21.
Yeah, we're getting a group of great young receivers in this league, and Michael Clayton is one of them. Great job of tipping the ball back to himself, and you can see John Gruden overjoyed right there.
But with the score still tied, picked off by Donnie Edwards. 4 minutes to go. He could go all the way for the clinching touchdown. Edwards, who had 20 tackles last week, makes the pick. It's 28-21, and now... with this Greasy strip by Steve Foley, the Chargers recover. And they go on to kick a field goal. Tampa comes down, kicks a field goal, but San Diego runs it out, and they beat the Bucs 31-24. LaDainian Tomlinson on the day ran for 131 yards, caught balls for 19 yards, despite 36 of 50 for 392 by Greasy. It's Drew Brees and the Chargers. Tommy, they've won 10 games this year.
Yeah.
Last year, they were a laughingstock.
And a 2-game lead on the Denver Broncos in the AFC West, so they're tracking a division title as well.
So San Diego wins. Denver trying to stay within 2 to keep pace. Jake Plummer, Broncos at home against Miami. First quarter, Plummer pass tipped, then picked off by Jay Williams. Crowd booing. Plummer, don't need to do that. You just don't need to do it. And I don't know how many saw it, but more saw it now. That was his reaction. Meanwhile, back to action. Broncos tied the game at 14. Tatum Bell, an 11-yard touchdown. Bell outside now. Looks like he's on his way to the end zone. He trips. It's the altitude, Tom. The replay, big run, but could have been a touchdown. Next play, it's Bell again. First and goal at the 7. And he bounces just short of the end zone. Next play, Plummer to Bell. Here that is. Drops it. And so the Broncos have to settle for a field goal. They do lead at 17-14, then it's tied 17-all. Ruben Drones back in for Bell. And Drones, you know that he's had a big year. 21 tough yards. Drones run sets up Jason Elam. 50 yards. Good. Boy, he's still got the big-time leg. 50 yards, the Broncos lead 20-17. A.J. Feely broken up by Kelly Herndon. Give Miami credit to playing hard for Jim Bates.
Yes, absolutely.
And they go into Denver, and that's a pretty tough thing to win. They almost do it, but they fall for the 11th time. Denver, an important win for them. They're 8-5, 20-17. They win it. Plummer, 16 of 30, 2 picks for 219. Bell at 120.
Yeah, Ruben Drones looks like we're handing that off to Tatum Bell, who has that quickness and that speed you look for. Just got to make plays down around the end zone.
Meanwhile, the big game of the day was between the Pittsburgh Steelers, 10 for 10 in starts by Ben Roethlisberger, 11-1 at home against the New York Jets, who had lost only 3 times. And here we go in Pittsburgh with another one of our elite prime cuts, Dick LeBeau. What a great job he's done with the Steelers defense. Was a great player in the league. And Steelers defense ranked 1 coming into Sunday's game. Chad Pennington, play action his second game back, but Troy Polamalu intercepts it, pass intended for Moss, and Polamalu goes back the other way, then looking for a button, finally tackled at the 37. Jeff Reed, a field goal, 34 yards. Still a 3-0 game. Pennington behind Jonathan Carter. And then too high to Gerald Soule. A tough hitting game. The Jets had only allowed a handful of points the last 3 games. Pennington play action. Wayne Corbett in the seam. It's underthrown. And so Chad still rusty today. Of course, Pittsburgh had a lot to do with it.
Yeah, Pittsburgh's defense played awfully well, and this guy in particular has just had a tremendous season. Right there, James Ferrier, it was a great pick. Again, one-handed, had to tip it back to himself to make it happen.
And so the Jets down 3-0 at the half. Still have a shot. Good shot. Pennington showing he can throw the ball deep. Their own 28 airs it to Justin McCairns. 43-yard reception. Steelers challenge. Play stands. Sets up a Doug Bryan field goal. 3-3. First play, fourth quarter. Deuce Staley played much of the first 2.5 quarters, but Jerome Bettis bulldozes away 12 yards. 13,000 career yards. He and Curtis Martin each passed that. Did I say pass? Bettis passing. Third touchdown pass of his career. Look at that to Jeremy Tooman. What a big play. 10-3. Then the guy that usually throws it, Ben Roethlisberger to Lee Mays. Not to say, hey, kid, but the hey, kid. He catches it 46 yards. Then Dan Kreider.
Great block to the outside. Great block.
As Bettis. Look at Bettis. Hits the hole with the block. Kreider, 12-yard run. And yes, their division champs. What a season the Steelers continue to have. The Jets fall to 9-4. Pittsburgh now 12-1. There's Roethlisberger 11 for 11. They're eating the Roethlisbergers. They're putting the Heinz ketchup on it. It's 17-6. The Steelers win it. And with the Pittsburgh Steelers and Jerome Bettis, congratulations to... It's just good to see him play like this. He and Curtis Martin each passed the 13,000-yard mark. So going into the day, we had 4 guys. We had Emmett, we had Barry Sanders, we had Walter Payton, of course, we had Eric Dickerson, and now both Bettis and Curtis Martin get over the mark. And Pittsburgh Steelers
They have not blinked yet. They have not blinked. They've been able to win all the important games. Ben Roethlisberger still undefeated and starts as a rookie. I thought the importance of this game was the fact that they played such a tough physical game against the Jags last week. I knew it would be difficult to recover and come back and play a tough team. The Jets, who are also very physical, want to run the ball down your throats, and they won that battle. This was one that they kind of had to sneak by, and I thought they did 9 completions by Big Ben. That's not a lot, but he did protect the football again.
And how about Bettis running? I mean, Staley doesn't look quite right yet.
Actually, Deuce Staley looks a little bit rusty, and Jerome Bettis looks like he's gotten into a groove. So I think Coach Cowher has a little bit of a decision to make as how he's going to use that 1-2 punch.
The big picture for the Jets, though, is, look, they say, oh, boy, they can't win a real tough team on the road. Look,
that's tough.
They're not going to win their division, and now they aren't going to win their division. They played a tough team. Tough on the road, we'll see. The Jets should still be playoff bound if they can pick things up, although they play the Patriots in week number 16. When we return, Randy Moss and the Vikings against the Seahawks, 2 teams in first place that you don't feel like that. Which team, speaking of blinking, would blink? And with Brett Favre and the Packers, he's 13-0 at home in his career against Detroit. But the Lions had other ideas for a long time. Terrell Owens and the Eagles, 11-1, facing off at the Redskins at the bottom of the hour in Sunday Night Football. And now we go to the desert where it's a dry heat. The 49ers have won 1 game this year, 31-28 in overtime over Arizona. Remember it. Dennis Erickson getting a tan. It's 28-17. The Niners led 28-3. Emmitt Smith with an 8-yard run, and they go for 2. Josh Tears of McCown. It's 28-25. Then after a Maurice Hicks fumble, Cards have the ball. Joselito Hansen, great defensive stop for the Niners, forcing Arizona to settle for a field goal when they could have won the game. And then in overtime, Hicks with a big run, 17 yards. setting up Todd Peterson. Well, we crunched this thing down for you just like their first meeting when San Francisco came from way behind. Peterson, good, 31 yards. And I tell you what, they can do nothing else. They can beat Arizona 31-28 in overtime. The Niners 2-11, both wins, same score against Arizona.
Just need to play them more often.
Let's talk to the schedulers and see what we can have. Ken Dorsey, 3 touchdown passes in San Francisco. First start for the St. Louis Rams, Chris Chandler. Mark Bolger out. And Chandler against Carolina. Remember Ricky Manning Jr., the big play made in the playoffs last year?
Absolutely. This guy makes big plays for this team, and he knows how to get the ball headed in the opposite direction, bring that one almost back to the 50-yard line.
And he does it against the Rams, that's for sure. Jake Daylight come, and you got Adelo under pressure, throwing the other way to Muhsin Muhammad. How about Carolina? Once upon a time, they'd won just one game. They were 1-7. Meanwhile, Chandler picked off by Will Witherspoon. That's his second pick if you're counting at home. 10 seconds left in the half. It's 20-7. Chandler picked off by Chris Gamble in the end zone. 3 picks. Now Chandler in the third quarter. Manning Jr. on the tip off the hands of Isaac Bruce. Chandler. And back in the lineup is Dan Morgan, the middle linebacker. 5 picks. Tying a franchise record. But wait a minute. There's more. Chandler. 6 picks. Oh, my goodness. They also fumbled, by the way. 7 points, 7 turnovers. And the Carolina Panthers have now won 5 in a row. They were 1-7. They're 6-7. Very much in the hunt. For St. Louis, they fall below 500. It's the most interceptions by a Rams quarterback in a single game since Bill Wade, pre-Chicago Bears, 1958. So what, 40? You guys started one game?
Yeah, one game.
Most interceptions,
one game, 7 picks.
Oh, God. Meanwhile, so, the Rams were losing. The Seahawks, much beleaguered after their Monday night debacle, playing Randy Moss, Dante Culpepper, and the Vikings. Naturally, they had a 10-0 lead, but this would be a little bit different. Matt Hasselbeck to Bobby Ingram, touchdown. Another Hasselbeck touchdown pass. Wait a minute. Seahawks are ahead 14-10. Now 14-13, Culpepper, Randy Moss, touchdown. 20-14, Culpepper to Moss. 50 times they've hooked up. Matt Hasselbeck. Seattle just trying to shake off Monday night to Darrell Jackson. He visited his dad, who was ill. He got back in town late Saturday night. His dad passed away on Sunday. Jackson comes through with a touchdown and 10 receptions. Amazing. But Hasselbeck picked off by Brian Russell. And this puts them in position for a Viking field goal. With the score 24-23, Ontario Smith drops the handoff. Rashad Moore recovers, and Seattle gets a field goal. 27-23. Randy Moss with just 2:12 to go. Why?
You know, we've seen that play a number of times this year, and what you tell a guy is that if that play's not wide open, you have to throw the football away. But why not let the quarterback, who's used to throwing the football, make that throw?
That was Michael Bulwer with the pick just seconds ago. The Vikings have another chance down 27-23. Moss over the middle, 36 yards. Culpepper, tick, 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 boom. Spikes the ball. There was a flag down. They said, no, nobody was offside. And so 4 seconds to go, Minnesota has a chance to win it. Mike Holmgren has seen this before. But Antonio Cochran, if you can attack, you can sack. Cochran makes the play. See, now, wait a minute. Watch why they turn around. Whoa, 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 whoa. Because the ball is down at Jermaine Wiggins. Wait a minute. Wasn't he down? Let's take a look.
Well, as you take another look, we're gonna freeze it right there. You can see he's in the grass. His knee is on the ground. Play should have been over. Whistle didn't blow. And even though he threw the ball, it was not caught, so game over.
So Mike Holmgren, beleaguered. But you know what? Through all of this, what did we say this morning? Through all of it, they can still win the division.
Absolutely.
And with the Rams losing and Seattle winning, the Seahawks, who have won more on the road than they've lost, which is already amazing, beat the Vikings. They're like mirror images, these teams. They both started off well. They both hit the clunkers, but Seattle gets the win. Hasselbeck for 334, and hats off to Darrell Jackson. More on that in a moment. Our condolences as well. Steve Mariucci, one-time quarterback coach of Brett Favre. Two great friends still. Lions coach Brett Favre, the Packer quarterback playing at Lambeau Field. Favre 13-0 at home in his career against the Lions. A few of the games early in Milwaukee, the rest at Lambeau. But early on, Brett was 3 of 15 in the first half.
It was amazing. It was amazing to watch Brett Favre play as badly as he did following that debacle against Philadelphia.
People think that Julius Jones is the only rookie Jones running back excelling late in the year. As Kevin Jones had almost 200 last week for Detroit, 24-yard touchdown. He had 118 yards in the first half. But third quarter with Detroit up 13-3. Favre to Donald, Duke and the driver, first down. Then Favre would be 16 of 21 in the second half. 23 yards to driver. That's the Brett Favre that Detroit is sick and tired of seeing in Green Bay, frankly. 13-10, Lions. Favre to Bubba Franks through his hands, settled for a field goal, tied at 13. Under 2 minutes to go, it's 3rd and 8. Packers at the Lions, 28. Favre looking for Walker. First down, which leads to Ryan Longwell with a shot and a chip shot. 23 yards. Good. Packers win 16-13. Joey Harrington, Lions game, but they fall to 5-8. Green Bay after the 6-game winning streak snapped. Then they go back to win it, and they go to 8-5. So far, going for under 200 in the day. Lions were game, but in this situation, it's Green Bay with Minnesota losing. They now have the lead in the NFC North. So the NFC playoff picture, where you know that Philly and Atlanta have clinched division titles. Pack, Seahawks. This is kind of confusing, frankly. The Packers lead their division. The Seahawks lead their division. The Vikings are a leader in a wild card race. And now the Panthers and Rams at 6 and 7. Maybe everybody will be over 5.
And I think we said that the Panthers, and I think we both like the Panthers because of the character that football team shows. And I think when you look at Brett Favre, just think about how badly he played early. And to be able to turn that around, I think that's what makes them such a dangerous football team once the playoffs start. If he's in, he's the guy that you just got. I know that they got killed by the Philadelphia Eagles, but I wouldn't bet on that happening a second time, that kind of a score, if you had to play Brett Favre again.
So we had 6 or 6.5 quarters of rough football.
That's correct.
Back and they get it together for the quarter and a half and they win it. And look, in the Norris division and in the West, just string together a couple of
Come on, Seattle.
Come on. That's a big win for them.
I know it was.
Big win for the Seahawks. Seattle bagged a big win. Primetime performers and clear up the AFC playoff picture as well.
NFL Primetime, presented by Miller Lite. Grab yourself a great-tasting low-carb Miller Lite. And in part by eBay. eBay, the power of all of us. Primetime Performers, brought to you by Domino's new Double Melt Pizza. Get the door. It's Domino's.
Boomer, my game ball is going to go to Tom Brady. He did another great job. They win the division 18-26, 262 touchdowns, and maybe the best pass that he threw all day was one that he threw flat on his back and completed a pass right there for a first down.
Flying by the seat of his pants.
Absolutely,
again.
Tom Brady.
Well, we got a different sort of story. Darrell Jackson visited his dad the last day he was alive. He passed away this morning. Our condolences to the Jackson family. Meanwhile, son Darrell, touchdown catch, 10 catches in a big comeback game for Seattle. This speaks volumes of him and the team. Now, the AFC, Patriots, Steelers, Colts, they all clinched division titles today. The Chargers have a 2-game lead in the West. That would leave 2 teams for the wild card spot, and right now you get 5 teams over 500, unlike the NFC.
That's right.
Jets at 9-4. They got a game with New England left. Ravens have the Colts and Steelers the next 2 weeks. The Broncos at 8-5. The hard-charging Bills and the Jaguars back in the picture. There'll be some good teams in here at the quote bottom of the AFC.
Well, the difference in the playoffs in the AFC is going to be that you could be that 3rd seed, that 4th seed. You're going to be playing a team that's very, very dangerous no matter who you play.
Oh, you could be 9-7 and not.
That's correct. Or
9-7 in the NFC, you might be the favorite, other than Philadelphia. Get out there and shop. Only 12 days left for Christmas shopping. For Tom Jackson, I'm Chris Berman. Thanks for watching Week 14 of NFL Primetime.